Hello and welcome to today's class of Vedic astrology. So today let's understand about the concept of Shadbala. So Shadbala is a terminology or is a term in Vedic astrology which indicates about the strength of an individual planet. All right. It indicates about the how intense that particular planet is in that individual's horoscope or in that individual's life. Now, whether the strength is positive or negative, it depends whether that particular planet is Yogakarka or Marka in that particular horoscope. So this is what is the meaning of Shadbal. Or Shadbal and degree strength are different. Degree wise, we have to understand even if a planet is strong, right? Shadbal wise, but if the degree wise, if the degree wise the planet is weak, then also that planet will not be able to completely shower its Shadbal strength on that individual's life. And Shadbal means the strength of that particular planet. And again, I'm just repeating it. Whether the strength is positive, whether the strength is negative, it depends on that particular planet itself. Whether that planet is having a Yogakarka status or a Maraka status in that individual's Lagna chart. So today's topic we will be able to understand, or I will give my 100% best in order to make you understand how Shadbal of a planet is calculated, or how a Shadbal of a particular planet is found out. All right. So because if you use an online application that is for you will definitely use an online application that is for finding out the Lagna chart of an individual based on that individual's birth details. So in one particular page, you will find that every planet has a certain particular number. Whether it's basically ranges from it. I'll not be able to. I should not be telling you like let's go step by step so that you will not be getting confused. But just that a particular planet has certain numbers, and that numbers comes with a particular bar graph. All right, typically it is shown in as a bar graph, and in the bar graph you will be able to understand whichever planet's bar right is higher, that planet is more strong as compared to the other planets in that individual's Lagna chart. And whenever we talk about Shadbal, we don't calculate the Shadbal of Rahu and Ketu because they are shadow planets. Shadbal are only calculated for physical planets. So even in that particular Shadbal column of that online application, of whatever application you use or you will be using to in order to find out the Lagna chart for that particular individual, the Shadbal page will not include the planets Rahu and Ketu. So you just, if you want to check, you can definitely check that out. So let's understand how this Shadbal of a particular planet is found. See, Shadbal comprises of 6 sub-bulls, or you can say 6 different type of bulls. One is the Sthanbal, one is the Digbal, also known as Dishabal. Another one is the Kalbal. Another one is the Cheshtabal. The 5th one is the Drishtibal, also known as Digbal, sorry. And another one is the Naisargik Bal. All right. So one is the Sthanbal, one is the Digbal, that is the Dishabal. Another one is the Kalbal. The 4th one is the Cheshtabal. 5th is the Drishtibal or the Drigbal. And the 6th one is the Naisargik Bal. So the combination of these 6 bulbs gives a particular number to a particular planet. That number is the overall, you can say overall Shadbala of that particular planet. So now let's understand each particular bulb and let's understand how a particular planet gets a particular number. All right, if certain things are met for a certain kind of a bulb. So in Sthanbal, if planets are sitting in their own sign, they get +1 point. Suppose if you take it +1. If planets are sitting in Mool Trikona, they get some positive points. Let's say understand so that you, in order to make your understanding more easier, if planets are sitting in their own sign, they get some positive points. If planets are sitting in their Mool Trikon or they are sitting in Mool Trikon, they get positive points. If exalted, planets are exalted, they get positive points. If planets are sitting in their friendly sign, they get positive points. This is what Sthanbal is. So Sthanbal gives certain particular points to planets, and if certain planets are fulfilling these requirements, they get some positive points. All right. So suppose if a particular planet is sitting in their own sign, they get a particular positive point as per Sthanbal. If an auspicious Yoga Karka planet is sitting in Mool Trikon, they get a positive point. If a planet is exalted, they get a positive point. If a planet is sitting in their friendly sign, auspicious Yoga Karka planet, they get a positive point. Usually let's not talk about Yoga Karka and Maraka here. So this is how some positive points are given. Some particular points are given, right? Numerical, some points are associated with certain planets if they are fulfilling these requirements. Now Digbal is all about Dishabal. If in the 10th house, so Digbal, if you want to talk about Digbal, as it is Disha, it's always north, south, east, west. So north is the 1st house. South here indicates the 7th house, East indicates the 10th house, and West indicates the 4th house. This is how I visualize it, because dishas are always 4 directional, right? It's always north, south, east, and west. And if you see Dishabal, that is Digbal, all the 4 Kendra houses are only taken into consideration in order to understand whether a particular planet gets a Digbal point or not. So in the 10th house, if Mars and Sun are sitting, then Mars and Sun here will get some good positive points. If in the 1st house, Mercury and Jupiter are sitting, then Mercury and Jupiter will get some positive points if they are sitting in the 1st house. If in the 4th house, Moon and Venus are sitting, or Moon or Venus. So whenever I'm saying and, either of these 2 planets are sitting or both of the planets are sitting that are excellent, they get positive points. In the 4th house, it is Moon and Venus. In the 7th house, if Saturn is sitting, it gets a Dishabal. Saturn is very positive when it is placed in the 7th house. Even Dishabal is also talking about that. All right. Now we have to understand whether Saturn will give positive effects or negative effects. That will depend whether Saturn is Yoga Karaka or Maraka for that individual's Lagna chart. So 10th house belongs to Mars and Sun. 1st house belongs to Jupiter and Mercury. 4th house belongs to Moon and Venus. And the 7th house belongs to planet Saturn. So all of these planets, if they are sitting in these particular houses, or any of these planets, if they are sitting in this respective particular houses, they get some positive points as per Dishabal, that is Digbal. Now Kalbal. Kalbal talks about daytime or night time, right? Kal is time. So in Kalbal, if an individual is born during daytime, all right, if an individual has its birth, has his or her birth during daytime, then Jupiter, Sun and Venus gets a positive points or gets positive points as per Kalbal. If an individual is born during night time, then Moon, Mars and Saturn, these three planets gets positive points as per Kalbal. For Mercury, it is both day and night. So Mercury gets positive points whether that individual is born during the day or in the night. This is what Kalbal talks about. Now let's understand Shadbala. Now Shadbala is all about the auspicious, let's not say directly auspiciousness. It talks about the factor of retrograde. So retrograde, or the concept of retrograde, is looked at whenever we understand Shadbala, that is of Shadbala. In Shadbala, if a Yoga Karka planet is retrograde, then its auspiciousness increases. So here the planet gets positive points. At the same time, we need to understand, if Maraka planets, they get retrograde, then their inauspicious also increases. So here you can see, as per Shadbala, they get negative points, alright, if you want to look at it in that particular way. So here, as I have touched upon this particular concept of retrograde, you have to understand that for retrograde, even if a particular planet is degree wise not that strong, and if the planet is Yoga Karka and well placed, all right, in that individual's horoscope, according to my belief, according to my understanding, you see, gemstone are only suggested and recommended in situations where planets are completely Yoga Karka in that individual's Lagna chart, but their strength is not that much. And in that aspect, I'm talking about degree wise strength, alright, not Shadbala. Degree wise, they are not strong, especially if they have powerless degrees, or if Yoga Karka planets are getting combust by Sun. Alright, so under such situations, we say gemstones are recommended, and under other situations also gemstones will be recommended. That you will be able to understand whenever you will be completely thorough with all of my Vedic astrology classes. And suppose if Yoga Karka planet, usually a gemstone, suppose it was about to be recommended, or it was supposed to be recommended, because degree wise that Yoga Karka planet is not that great, but that Yoga Karka planet is retrograde. Degree wise it's not strong, but it's a retrograde planet. What I believe under such situation is gemstone is not required, because retrograde planet has the tendency to give more intense effects as compared to other normal planets which are not retrograde. It's only that retrograde planet, it takes a certain amount of time to give effects, but when it starts to give effects, its intensity is very high. All right, so whether it is Yoga Karka or Maraka, it depends on the placement of that particular planet in that individual's Lagna chart, and also upon the Yoga Karka Maraka status of that particular planet, on some other factors also, many other factors also. So I was just talking about a Yoga Karka planet. So under such situation, gemstone is not prescribed, not recommended, even if that Yoga Karka planet is a degree wise not strong. But as it is a retrograde, it will give definitely great effects. It's only that it will take some time, because you have to understand, so many people believe that retrograde means if a planet is in retrogression, if a planet is retrograde, it means a planet is moving in an opposite direction. That never happens. That is not possible. Astronomically, a planet cannot move in reverse direction, all right? A planet always move in its particular direction in a way nature has planned it to move. So retrogression or retrograde only means the planet is moving slowly. As it is moving slowly, astronomically, if you want to see, it means if the planet, it will seem after a certain period of time, if you look at after intervals, if you look at planet, it means it will feel that the planet is moving in opposite direction. It doesn't move in opposite direction. It's just that other planets are moving in its normal speed, but just that the retrograde planet is moving in less speed. I'm talking about individual's horoscope chart. It's not like in the universe the planet moves in small speeds. It moves in the speed. It moves in a speed in the way it's supposed to move. I'm just talking from an Vedic astrological point of view and connecting it with astronomy. So in Vedic astrology, retrograde planet means in a particular individual's horoscope, if one particular planet is moving at its new normal usual speed, and if the other planet is retrograde, and it seems that the planet is moving in an opposite direction. It's not moving in an opposite direction, it's just moving very slowly. And as the other planets are moving very fast, it seems that retrograde planet is moving in the opposite direction when it is not such. So as a retrograde planet, it moves slowly. It takes time to give effects. Now, whether positive or negative, that again I am saying it depends whether that retrograde planet is Yoga Karka or Maraka, and how the placement of that particular planet is. Everything needs to be checked. So this was about Shadbala. Now let's understand Drishtibal. So Drishtibal is also known as Drigbal. Drishti, as you have understood, it talks about the aspects of planet. So what is Drishtibal? If Yoga Karka planets aspects their friendly planets, then the strength of that friendly planet increases. This is what Drishtibal talks about, and under such situations, those friendly planets, they get positive points. Similarly, if that friendly planet is aspecting, giving its drishti to the Yoga Karka planet, then the strength of that Yoga Karka planet also increases. Here also, as per Drishtibal, as per Drigbal, the strength, the Yoga Karka planet also gets a positive point, certain positive points. It needs to be understood. One thing you have to understand is, whenever I say, or as I had just said, if a Yoga Karka planet is aspecting their friendly planets, so the strength of that friendly planet will increase. Drishtibal, positiveness or the auspiciousness gets increased only when those friendly planets are also Yoga Karka in that individual's Lagna chart. Similarly, if friendly Yoga Karka planets are aspecting that particular Yoga Karka planets, that is which that friendly signs of that particular Yoga Karka planets' friendly signs are aspecting that Yoga Karka planet also. So here, if those friendly signs or the friendly planets placed in the friendly signs are Yoga Karka in nature, then that Yoga Karka planet's auspiciousness will also further increase. I hope you have understood Drishtibal. So whenever I'm talking about friendly signs, I'm not talking about the lord of that particular house where the planets are placed. I'm talking about their friendly compatible planets. So if suppose Venus is aspecting Mercury, so Mercury is a friendly planet for Venus. So if Venus and Mercury both are auspicious Yoga Karka in that particular horoscope chart, and if Venus is aspecting Mercury, is giving its drishti to Mercury, then the auspiciousness of Mercury will increase. And if Yoga Karka Mercury is also aspecting that Yoga Karka Venus, then the auspiciousness of Yoga Karka Venus will also increase. All right. This is a very common, I think, understanding in Vedic astrology, and I'm sure you have understood about this particular point if and only if you have watched all of my previous classes in detail. So this is what Drishti Bal talks about. Also, just if I just want to point something out as per my understanding, even suppose if a Yogakarka planet is aspecting their friendly planets, and that friendly planets are not auspicious like for that particular Lagna chart, all right, it's not a Yogakarka, then also even if the planets are Maraka, their auspiciousness or their Maraka effects will decrease because a Yogakarka planet is aspecting them, all right, as per that individual's Lagna chart. So even during such situations also, certain positive points are associated given to that friendly planets, which decreases their negative points as per Drishti Bal, that is Drik Bal, and vice versa, all right. Now let's understand what is Naisargic Bal. So Naisargic Bal has a fixed rule, all right. Sun is always given more points than Moon. Moon is always given more points than Venus. Venus is always given more points than Jupiter. Jupiter is always given more points than Mercury. Mercury is always given more point than Mars. And Mars is also given more point than Saturn. So it's a very fixed rule that Naisargic Bal follows, all right. So these points are always given in a very fixed way. So Sun is greater than Moon. Moon is greater than Venus. Venus is greater than Jupiter. Jupiter is greater than Mercury. Mercury is greater than Mars, and Mars is greater than Saturn. And when I'm saying the word greater than, I'm referring to the points given as per Naisargic Bal. So this were all the 6 Bals. So the overall Shad Bal of a particular planet is calculated whenever all of these 6 Bals are taken into consideration. Then a particular number gets calculated for a particular planet, and that number you see is getting reflected in that particular application or that particular app. Then you see Sun has a particular number, has a certain bar. Venus has a certain number, has a certain bar. You can see which is having greater numbers, which are having less numbers. You can see which is the least number that a particular planet has got. It means the Shad Bal, the intensity, the power of that particular planet is least in your Lagna chart, and that is calculated using all of these 6 Bals. Again, what are they? Sthan Bal, Dig Bal, that is the Disha Bal, Kal Bal, Cheshta Bal, Drishti Bal, that is the Drik Bal, and Naisargic Bal. All right. So considering, calculating, taking into account all of these 6 Bals, Shad Bal of a particular planet gets found out and calculated. Now whether the Shad Bal of that particular planet, whatever number gets reflected of in that particular planet, whether that is auspicious or inauspicious, it will depend whether that particular planet is Yogakarka or Maraka in that individual's Lagna chart. So this is what I wanted to discuss and teach in this particular concept and topic of Shad Bal. I hope you have understood it. I have explained in detail in a very practical way how Shad Bal is found out. Because see, if you want to be a practitioner of Vedic astrology, you need to know. It's just that if you see Shad Bal of a particular planet is having a certain number, 1.4, 1.3, etc., etc., you need to know how is that calculated, how is that found out. It's just that you cannot come to a conclusion saying that, okay, this is the strength. But you need, as a practitioner, because you will be a practitioner, and if you want to be a practitioner, you need to have complete details about all of the things, important things that you need to see in a particular Lagna chart, and all the details associated with it, the important and relevant details which needs to be seen. And in that, Shadbala is also very important, and that's the reason why I explained to you the process of calculating and finding out the Shadbala of a particular planet. Now you know the process. If you want, you can definitely apply it in some Lagna charts. Take some random 7 planets, 9 planets, or take some random birth details or whatever birth details you have that you are practicing with based on your clients and customers' request, professional request. Apply the same calculation in that particular planet, in that Lagna chart, and try to calculate Shadbala by your own self. Then you see whether the number is matching with that particular number or not. That is, if you are interested to find out the process. Even though the number will be reflected in front of you, it's just that you have to know the process, you have to know the reason, you have to know all the intricacies that are associated into finding out the number, how it is found out, what is the process of finding out, and what are the different 6 bulls that talks about or that calculates the overall Shadbala. All right. So I hope you have understood this particular class in detail. Even if you have not understood it in one particular watch, please watch this particular video, this class over and over again till the time you're absolutely confident with this particular topic. All right. And you also practice it. So whatever I had discussed with you, you practice it, you write it down in your notepad, you practice it, apply it in your sample Lagna charts or in whatever Lagna charts that you are seeing for your own understanding, for your own practice, for your own development of Vedic astrological skills. And that's it for today's class about the very, very important concept and topic of Shadbala. And I just want to remind you that please watch all of my classes and in detail. Don't even skip one particular class, because then you will be missing out on a whole lot of information. And all of my classes are interlinked, they are interrelated, they are connected. So it's not that if you miss one particular class, it will not hamper the understanding of the other class. No, it will hamper the understanding of the other class. So I always recommend and suggest you that if you want to watch my classes with sincerity, then watch it sequentially, starting from class 1. Then you proceed accordingly, all right? Then your interest will also develop. You will be able to understand whatever I am saying, and you will go step by step in a sequence. You will understand about the topics of Vedic astrology properly. In completion, you will be able to understand. In completeness, you will be able to understand. And most importantly, you will be able to understand about these topics of Vedic astrology with accuracy, all right, with 100% accuracy. So this is what I am trying my level best to share with you knowledge in a practical way and also in a very complete way, in detail and with complete accuracy. I'm sharing the knowledge with, all right, so that you will not have any doubts whatsoever once you are thorough with whatever I'm sharing in all of these classes of Vedic astrology. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my videos, share my videos, and if you have any doubts, any queries, any questions related to the topics of Vedic astrology, that is whatever I'm sharing, whatever I'm discussing, then please share your doubts, your queries, your questions in the comment section, and I will definitely try to answer them. I will see you in the next class. Take care.